Happy finally Friday. It's Too Large and a Sarge. I'm Nancy.
I'm Tegan.
And I'm Sam. And remember, our program is rated R. Real people, real life, real situation.
Situation.
Rare
situation.
See here.
See here, Sammy.
R. Program's rated R.
Rated R. Situation.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's been a long week.
So good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. And I'm glad that happened because the subject, first of all, you can hear us 7 o'clock Monday morning, Monday through Friday morning.
Thank you.
SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to go right into what our subject was, and I don't think it even intentionally happened. Bullies. I was just being bullied this morning. Right there. I was just blatantly being made fun of.
What are you talking about?
I'm still being bullied.
You know, sometimes I just look back and forth at them just to see what's going to happen.
Like a tennis match.
Yes.
Bouncing back and forth.
Bullying today.
Oh.
Apparently it's not what bullying was when we were growing up.
It's far worse, with social media.
Oh, clearly.
Social media puts a whole new dynamic on bullying because when we were kids, bullying was bullying, but I don't think necessarily, and people are going to hate me, I don't think necessarily it was a bad thing. And here's what I'm saying. You had the people that bullied. Tegan's like about ready to start laughing. No, I'm serious. This is called the circle of life. You had the people that were bullying. You had the people that were bullied. After a while, the people that were getting bullied, because bullies don't just bully one person.
No.
Bullies generally bully a bunch of people. So the bullies, these little innocent ones, they decide to band together. Now they really put the hurting on the bully. The bully gets humbled at some point in their life.
Right.
And they're no longer bullies. And the ones that didn't have that faith in themselves or that confidence in themselves, once they do something like that and get it under control, it actually helps them. It actually, I think, makes them go, you know
Makes
what?
them grow.
I'm never going to take this again.
Right.
You're never going to give me that sort of disrespect. I've just acquired some more power, more faith in myself. What do you think?
I agree. Well, you know, when we were growing up, you used to go to fisticuffs. It wasn't like, I'm going to write something horrible about you on the internet, and that goes crazy viral. I mean, you actually physically, most of the time, got into a fight.
Sure.
I don't necessarily agree that bullying's worse than what it was or what it used to be. They say, well, there's cyberbullying and everything else. The parents, no matter how old your child is, if they're still under your care, you have to monitor what's going on their cell phones and laptops and everything else.
There's great parental apps that you can put on.
So if they're being bullied on there, the parents should know about it.
Or if they're the parent of the bully, if they have the appropriate apps put into place, you can monitor all their activities.
You can see what's going on.
Absolutely, everything.
So only because, Abby's a little bit younger, she's not obviously in that age bracket yet with all the social media stuff. Not that she doesn't know what it is, but how do you deal with that? Have you guys had to deal with that?
No.
Yeah, not with the social media.
Not social media.
Bullying. Our boy gets bullied. He's
awkward.
He's awkward. He's really awkward.
He's an introvert.
And I think these teachers and the school administrations, they got it all wrong, and they come home with shirts on that it says "Be a buddy and not a bully."
Right.
That doesn't stop anybody. That does not stop bullies from being bullies.
No, and these buddy benches and stuff that they have.
It doesn't happen. So he's afraid to stick up for himself because he thinks he's going to get in trouble.
Right.
I tell him to knock the shit out of the people.
Yeah.
I say, or at least stand up to him and say, "Hey, listen, a-hole, you're not going to talk to me like that." I told him he's probably going to take a beating that day.
Right.
But the next day, the bully knows he's going to have to go through the hassle of kicking the crap out of him. He's probably going to go to somebody else.
Yeah.
After that.
I've told Abby that. I said, if somebody starts with you, and I said, you need to defend yourself.
Well, that's where I get upset. Shame on the schools for punishing the kids for finally standing up to themselves.
Right. I agree.
And as teachers, let's not play games. You were kids once too. You know how it goes.
Yes.
You know how the system works. You know how it goes. The only thing that I didn't grow up in that I'm concerned about is I am very highly concerned about cyberbullying. It can be rough. And it can, in an instant, some of these kids I see on their Facebook pages, they have several thousand friends.
I know.
So
like,
when
I
they
don't
post
know.
something, it's instantaneous, and several thousand people get a chance to hear a harassing message about somebody else. I'm not digging on that. I'm not a big fan of that. But that's where Sam said there's other facets that you can use. If you go onto your Google Play Store and type in parental control apps, there's apps that you can get all their information from their cell phones. You can get information straight from their computers. You can type in words or phrases that if you wanted to instantly pop up on your phone or your computer to let you know that something's been said with these inappropriate words on it, it'll instantly pop up.
Really, that's
inappropriate pictures. Like, they have security put into place right now that's pretty super effective.
That's good.
Yeah. And it should be on not only just the kids being bullied, but on the bulliers page too. I mean,
Yes.
I was a bully.
I know, I was too. I was a jerk.
Yeah.
But I became a jerk, and it usually it was because of a guy.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it
What do you
was
mean?
bad.
What do you mean?
Like another girl liking the guy that I was with, or
Or that you wanted?
yeah.
Oh, you're terrible.
I am terrible. I was a jerk. I literally as an adult, I was not nice to a couple girls in high school, and I actually feel bad about it now.
Oh. How about you and bullies?
I wasn't a bully. I'd always stood up for myself, but I wouldn't say that I was a bully.
Were you bullied?
Were you bullied?
I didn't put up with it. This is my bullying story, and I was young. I was probably 6 years old, and this is the sympathy that I got. I go home. The teenage neighbor boy kicked the crap out of me for whatever reason. I don't know. I went home, told my dad. He goes, "Why are you telling me?" He goes to get a baseball bat and hit him. I drug a baseball bat across the backyard, and I clubbed the shit out of this teenage kid that just beat me up. Yeah, and that's how I was taught to deal with bullies.
Oh.
I got bullied a little bit after
And
that.
what happened? Oh,
No.
you got bullied after that a little
Not from him, but from other people. But I just stood up for myself.
bit? Okay.
I'm a big guy. I can show you pictures of me when I was a kid, and I was one of the smallest kids.
You were a wee little fella.
I was a wee little fella in the group.
Yeah.
So I wasn't always... I've always had the heart of a lion. I've just never been the size of a grizzly bear. Or a vanilla gorilla.
Well, you now are a vanilla.
I am now a
My
vanilla gorilla.
Here's the deal. Here's how it went down. When I was in late elementary, early middle school, I was bullied. I'm going to give you a traumatic situation that occurred to me that had happened to me, as a child. My mom had some clothes from the 1970s.
Which is fantastic now. That's pretty awesome.
Sure, and
yeah,
I would
now
appreciate
it
it
is.
probably as a teenager or a young adult. But you're like 9 or 10 years old, and it's mid-'80s, okay?
Yeah.
Late 70s clothing and mid-'80s clothing look nothing alike.
Nothing.
Okay? So the one day I was in the library by myself. I got a chance to go to the library instead of going to the study hall. So I'm all by my lonesome, sitting at a big table, reading or something. And these girls a grade higher than me came in and sat at the table across from me. And on this particular day, I was dressed in a vest from the 70s.
Oh,
A
you and I would have
gold
so
shirt
been friends.
with little, like a real pointed, collared shirt.
Oh, I bet you were adorable.
I know.
And I had a little black skirt on, and I had these shoes that, at the time, Pee Wee Herman was big, and Pee Wee Herman got laughed at because he wore Pee Wee Herman shoes, and they looked like Pee Wee Herman shoes.
It's called the Big Shoe Dance.
Yeah, I had the big shoes. Well, you didn't wear that. Like that time, you wore fluorescent T-shirts and
tight rolled your jeans and
tight rolled your jeans, and that wasn't a tight rolled jean or that wasn't a tie dye T-shirt. So I'm minding my own business, just trying to study and learn and stuff, and I hear just like that. It was the exact thing. Here again, it was. So I look up and I see all the girls on the table across from me who are a year older at me, pointing at me and laughing at me, and then they go, "Pee Wee Herman shoes," and start laughing again. So I was bullied first, and then come late middle school, early high school, the tables had turned, and I'm not. I can't lie. It's not very becoming. I did some things that were really terrible.
No.
One time, Sam's gonna be like, "I'm tired of hearing this story," but it's funny. One time, we had a table, okay? At our lunch tables, we were assigned tables. You sat at your assigned table or at least like say there was 8 seats per table. 8 people sat at that table. Then you couldn't put a 9th chair in. You couldn't put a 10th chair in. If there's 8 seats, 8 people sit there, and generally you get into a routine. You have people you hang out with, so that table's your table. Well, we had this girl that nobody liked her, and she would grab her chair and push it in and sit with us, and one of us from the regular 8 would get booted out. So she would sit there, and because there was 9 chairs there, somebody had to go. And the teacher didn't care, and pretty much almost all the time, somebody that was a regular at that table would get booted out of it. Well, sometimes I just go through some moods. And then one day, prior to this incident, it was the same week, I was one of the first people at the lunch table. And the next thing you know, the 9th chair comes, and I'm picking my tray up and having to sit at another table with people I don't want to talk to at lunchtime. So now I'm mad.
Yes.
She comes with her tray, and she puts her tray down somewhere, grabs her chair, her 9th chair, the unwanted chair.
The unwanted chair.
And pushes it into the table. And she goes to walk away to go get like an iced tea or something. I said, this isn't happening today. So I get her tray, pick it up, I move it, and I kick her chair out of the way.
Not today, kid, not today.
Well, here's what happened. I'm having a good old time, I'm laughing, and all of a sudden I look across at me, and the people at the table are looking over at me, and their eyes are huge, and their mouth is open.
Oh, no.
And I hear behind me, I hear... Now... I sometimes don't act appropriately in certain situations. I hear heavy breathing behind me. I turn around. This chick has got a plastic fork. All the prongs broke off of it except for one.
Oh my God.
It's like a dagger. And she has it up above her head, and she's going...
It's like a real Carrie moment here.
I'm telling you, I looked over my shoulder, I look up, and I see who's breathing behind me, and I see what she has, and I laughed. It was probably not the right time to do that. But I laughed, and everybody at the table's like, oh my God, my friend's going to die. You know, so the teacher comes and kicks her out. And they're like, Nancy, we can't believe you laughed. Like, she was going to stab your ass. Like, I can't believe you'd find that funny. I'm like, did you hear her breathing? Like, did she run for the fork or something? Does she not do cardio? Like, what's the deal? So I leave the lunchroom, and behind me, like mad crazy, like straight arms, like moving back and forth, like it was creepy. Following me downstairs to my classroom, which was home economics after that, follows me down, stands in the doorway, looks at me, and says, this time it was a fork. Next time it'll be a knife. Oh my God. And my friend goes, what a plastic one. And of course I laughed for the second time after being threatened or almost stabbed to death. Yeah, so that was...
What grade were you in?
That was my sophomore year of high school.
So this wasn't just
and this
like
girl was a junior. It was crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the funny thing... like,
I wonder what she's doing now.
Oh, no. Fast forward. When me and you were working together at our last job, I went to a live-action broadcast in Clymer.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there... and this girl comes up to the table, and I'm like, oh my God, today's the day. And Fox's Pizza has plastic forks. I'm done. Like, it's all over. And she goes, hi. And I go, oh, hey there. How's it going? And she goes, I listen to your show all the time. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool. She's like, I'm a big fan. I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm thinking, Nancy, don't tell her that you know her. Don't tell her that you know her. Maybe my looks have changed over the years enough where I won't get mauled, you know. So yeah, I saw her years later, and luckily she didn't realize it was me. But she was nuts, dude. Like, she totally crazy.
I don't think that goes away.
And that wasn't necessarily me bullying anybody. I just got tired of getting moved from my table that I sat at all the time. I don't think it was unfair.
Like, when I think, like, for me, when I was younger, I used to get bullied on the bus a lot, and it was by the older guys. Because I was awkward and I was weird and I had curly hair and I wore stupid clothes. And, like, I clearly didn't realize that, you know, I needed to take care of myself as a girl and look like a girl because I was a tomboy. Oh. And there were these 3 guys on the bus that constantly made me cry. And they were the biggest asswipes in the whole entire world.
Maybe they wanted to force him.
Well... when I got a few years older, I hung out with most of these guys later, like a couple years later when I got older. Yeah. And it was just because I was weird and awkward and whatever. Yeah. But they were such jerks. Oh, yeah. Brutal. Mm-hmm. To just a little girl.
I made fun of a kid with epilepsy.
Oh, I can't look at you right now.
It was bad. It was in science, and he had a fit. And then that was during the time Headbangers Ball was out, and I just said he really liked Headbangers Ball, and it was really bad. I'm ashamed of myself.
I can't look at you still.
I'm so sorry, Jim. I don't find it funny now. Tegan does.
Remember, I'm the one that laughs at funerals.
Oh, it was almost his funeral. He had a damn pencil in his hand.
Stop.
It was serious. Could have poked somebody's eye out.
She doesn't stop. She wants my reaction because she knows I can't stop laughing.
I mean, it was serious.
All right, Sammy. Tell us your story.
I don't have a story. Anyway, back to bullying and nowadays bullying.
Yeah.
I saw a video where this woman filmed her daughter crying and posted it on Facebook and said, and what did they say to you? And the girl was like, oh, so and so. You're not beating these bullies. You're empowering these bullies.
They want to see you cry.
They want to see you cry. And and everybody say, well, nowadays people are so bunch of wussies and everything else. These are the same people that raised these people. So whose fault is it?
Right.
I know.
You know, it started from somewhere. And like, you know, when you point a finger at somebody, you got 3 more pointed back at you.
Right.
You got to, you know, you got to stand up for yourself. There's no using social media to shame somebody, because bullies, you can't shame a bully.
You've got to empower yourself.
You have to empower yourself. You have to take control of your own life.
Yeah.
And stand up to the bully.
And it might not work out in your favor all the time. Maybe you're going to have to phone a friend, or something's going to have to happen. Maybe you need to reach out a little further than
you might get your butt kicked.
You're going to.
Probably.
Yeah. But I don't always think that, this may not sound correct, but like I don't think that's always a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's the facts of life. And
you have to fight for...
You don't always win, and you don't always get what you want.
Isn't that a song?
It's the Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want, but you can always get what you need.
What you need.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get every job that you interview for. You're not going to... Not everybody's going to like you. And we're teaching people that you're going to get every job. And everybody is supposed to like you. That's not how the world works at all.
No,
Whether you're fat, whether you're a different race, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can take babies and put them in a room with no outside influence. There's going to be racism. There's going to be hate. There's going to be different people with no influence. Because us as human beings see somebody who's different, and we don't like the difference.
In some cases. Yeah.
In some cases. Mm-hmm. People don't like that. You're different than me? Well, then you're wrong.
Yeah.
And some people don't take the time to look past the difference of that person and get to really know that person.
Right.
You know, and once you do, you're like, oh, wow, that person's not too different than what I am.
Absolutely. We all bleed red.
Everybody takes everything so darn too seriously, too. That's my biggest problem. There's nothing that I do not mock. Even in my own life, I've had some really heavy, really traumatic, really abusive, really horrible, really lifetime story stuff happen. And the whole way through, what got me through it was sarcasm.
Yes, absolutely.
Sarcasm, dark humor got me through it.
Yes. If I didn't laugh, and I think I've said this before, if I didn't laugh, I'd be...
I laugh only to keep from crying.
I know.
Sometimes.
And I hate to say it, but in some cases, why don't you throw them for a loop? If you're getting bullied by somebody, join in with them. I can laugh at myself. I can find more things than you about myself that I can make fun of. How do you take away somebody's power? That's a good start right there. Oh, you want to knock me about that? Okay, well here. Did you ever think of this? Did you ever get that one?
You 8 Mile their asses.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like the movie 8 Mile, Eminem's getting, people were making fun of him. Well, he stands up there and he does a rap about...
He makes fun of himself.
He makes fun of himself. Is what do you got?
I'm my own worst critic.
Right.
Oh,
I'm my own hardest critic. You want to say something to me that you think's going to... All 10 of your buddies, go ahead, have at it. I'm going to join in. We're going to have a real good time together. And then you're going to either go, holy crap, this chick's crazy, I got to hang with her. Or you're going to go, you know what, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
Like, she's not really getting bothered by it the way that I thought she'd get bothered by it.
Right.
Sometimes you got to turn a little crazy on and up. And maybe it works for me because I come from a long lineage of crazy people. Like paperwork proof crazy. Like I'm like medication crazy. Maybe that's what's worked for me. Maybe that's what's worked for me. But you'll never tell me something about myself I haven't thought or said about myself first.
Right.
I'm not gonna let you take that away from me. You know, like it. You know. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I got made fun of for Pee Wee Herman shoes, and I got picked on about different things. I had to take a boy or two over the bush and beat the crap out of them once or twice. You know, I had it was tough, you know, and then I may or may not have decided to turn the tables around, and I don't think I've ever stopped being a bully.
You're a cute bully. You're cute. It's easy to take me being bullied by you because you're so cute.
I'm not mean. Like, well, I'm mean, but I'm not intentionally mean. Like I'm not mean for the sake of hurting somebody. I'm just an equal opportunity hater. Like, I just pick on everybody equally.
Just so you know, whenever I turn around on Nancy, she always be like, hey.
Listen, heat and kitchen. You know, you can't dish it out without being able to take it. And that's, you know, I back up whatever I say or whatever I do. And if anybody gives it back to me, I like it. Actually,
it's kind of a challenge.
It is. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm quick-witted. Like I'm super fast with comebacks, and so it makes it fun for me. Unfortunately, it caused me to be disowned on Facebook by one of my family members, my very own brother. I actually got disowned on Facebook by my brother because I had put him up to a challenge, and he had not found it as funny as I had found it, and so I'm still blocked to this day.
Can't imagine.
Yeah. On Facebook, my brother posted a picture one day, and I had wrote underneath the comments for the picture, here's a picture of a person that'll never get laid.
Ouch!
And I was just waiting for him to write back, well, this is coming from a person that did the football team. Or, you know, like I was waiting for something like witty back so we could have fun banter. The next thing you know, I go to look up his page to see what comment I got, and I was blocked.
He got butthurt.
He got real butthurt.
Yeah.
And then the whole family got butthurt because he got butthurt. Oh, and I, you know, it was a real problem. I still haven't been refriended again. Like, I'm blocked. Totes blocked. Hashtag black sheep.
Has he had a girlfriend? Is that maybe why he's...
I can't discuss this.
You can't discuss it.
I don't want to be blocked by the entire family.
Okay. I know. Well, you know, not too far off. Probably, let's see, it's December. Let's say September. I did the same thing to somebody I was dating, and like, he totally got butthurt.
They don't take it.
No, they don't.
No.
Yeah, he ripped me a new one.
Be a buddy, not a bully to you.
Yep.
That's really terrible. See, you've got unfriended and disliked a lot of times because of that.
Oh my God, I can't. I don't know how many times I've been unfriended, and just because I like to laugh and I say a lot of things that
are extreme.
They're extreme.
Yeah, but you call people out when they're being an idiot.
I call them
They
out.
don't like that.
Yeah, I call them out whenever they're being a moron.
Yeah.
And there's some things that I say, and it's like kind of like a bullet, like, you know, it's out of my mouth and I can just see it going, and I'm like, oh.
You try to run to catch it, but it's
out. It's already out. There's no one bringing that back, and people get butthurt.
Oh
they
man, they get so
do.
mad. You'd think they'd understand us by now,
Yeah.
really. I'm just as surprised as they are. Like,
oh yeah, I say some stuff and I'm like, wow, where did that come? Where did that even come from?
I know, right? Like, I'll say it and I'm like, oh, there it was. Oh. Boy, that one was, in my mind, it wasn't as hard. That's what I said.
But the people that know us, I mean, they realize that it's not coming from, like, a
bad
mean,
place.
hurtful place.
I'm quick-witted, and it just comes out, and I'm like, well, that was really funny. Now let's see how it goes over. And it usually goes over pretty well, but sometimes people get upset.
Yeah.
I just do it for the spirit of entertainment, and then sometimes I go, oh, you know what? Maybe that was
I'm not being a bully,
too
but
much.
it's just, I mean.
No. Like the one day, I'm going to use an example. The one day recently, somebody I know, their trunk keeps opening up all the time. Their hatch keeps opening up, and they're in like their mid-60s, okay?
Oh.
His trunk keeps opening up.
Got too much junk in his trunk.
Well, no, that's not what I said. It was worse than that. It was a coworker, and one of my one of my dear friends who's like an accomplice with all this. She fuels me. She gets me wound up. It's her fault. She gets me wound up, and then I say things, and I go, oh, I should have said those. She goes, hey, such and such, your hatch was open up again. I said, well, he's probably happy about that because it's the first time in a long time anything of his has been up. Bullet saw it fly.
Yeah.
Looked at it and went, oh, I hope we're on that level. I hope he's okay with this. And then he just chuckled. He laughed.
That's good.
Thank goodness I just wiped the sweat, from my forehead after that one. But I'm like, man, I didn't even know that was coming out when it happened. There's not that pause. It's just an immediate release.
Yes. Sammy did that to me the other day when I was...
I did.
What were we doing?
That was super mean.
We were talking about...
Yeah, but I laughed after I was like, F you.
We were talking about deviled eggs or...
We were she was talking about how she replaces Greek yogurt with sour cream.
No, I replaced Greek yogurt.
No, sour cream.
Sour cream with Greek yogurt.
Low fat. She said low fat Greek yogurt. And I said...
How's it? Didn't you say...
You said, oh yeah, it looks like it's really working.
Yeah, I said, oh yeah, it looks like it's really working.
And coming from probably anybody else, I probably would have thrown something at you. But coming from you, I was like, F you, Sammy. And he comes over and he gives me a hug.
I had to pretend to keep cooking stuff. Even I know when to stay neutral. I'm just a mixin'. Let's wait
Switzerland
for this
over here.
Yeah. That's a rarity for me, but even when that one flew, I was like, oh.
No, but there's a complete difference coming from you and then, coming from somebody that I might not, that I'm totally not on that level with.
Right.
Because I've experienced that. I'm not a skinny little twig. And, there was a relationship even when I was a lot thinner, pre-baby, that he used to call me Miss Piggy. Oh, no. Yeah. And I mean, that's probably why his toothbrush made it into the toilet a few times.
Wait, this was your ex?
Yeah.
Oh.
My first one.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Remember, Black Widow. She had more than one.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Yeah.
So, but that's why there's a big difference between...
Well, I used to get abused regularly, and my ex used to make fun of my weight all the time. And when he would say stuff like that, I would just start making penis comments. I really would.
See, I'd
be like, why guys like that talk to women like me, like the way you're talking to them? It's because they're compensating for what they're missing in their pants.
Really?
Yeah. Like you get all upset, and I'm like, well, dude, it hurts, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Well, how about we bag this then? How about we not do this?
Right.
But I've always been quick, and I do it for my intentions are for good, not for evil. I swear to God. Like, I say stuff, and I just want people to laugh along with me.
And it's completely different. There's completely different...
You'll know when I'm being hateful.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll generally not talk to you.
Oh, I will. Whenever I gotta talk hateful to you or talk dirty like I say I do, you're gonna know that there's no bit of joking around at all.
It's the Sarge that comes out of
It's
you.
the Sarge, whether it's a correction Sarge or combat Sarge, but there's the Sarge that comes out in me.
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't take me long to get to that point, but you have to do something to get me to that point. If you just say something and I say something sarcastic or something, it's just me being what I thought was funny. It's not me being mean or anything. You'll know when I'm being mean.
Right.
But it's not fair and it's not right to get somebody else either. If you're dishing it out constantly, even if somebody says something, you're like, it'd have to be pretty low for my standards to be below the belt, though. Like I'm pretty.
You're jovial,
harsh.
like you're. Yeah.
It'd have to be something really, really harsh. But I look at it like this: I'm the one that spends my every day. For me, I am true to who I am. I'm fast. I'm faster sometimes than I realize than I am. Like, I think the bullet analogy that you used was perfect. Like, sometimes I'll open my mouth just for the sake of humor because it's already there.
Yeah, you guys are pretty good at that.
I'm fast.
I hesitate.
I wish I did.
I don't. It just rolls off my tongue. And I know, like, when I was working in the prison system, and I could keep a straight face too. Like, when I'm trying to be funny, like when there's an inmate saying something and I'm saying something back to him, and I'm saying some hateful stuff, but I'm being funny. I know I'm being funny. There's some COs that stand around, they just lose it. They can't.
Really?
They laugh. They just can't. They can't stand there and listen to me, and they don't know how I do it. They're like, I'm so straight, stone faced, and I'm saying some of the funniest stuff that I've ever heard in my life, and I know it's coming out of my mouth, and I might be a little, humble with that. Not humble, but I say some funny stuff and they can't take it. They just start laughing. They're like, boy, Sarge, whenever you start, I was like, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why it comes from.
Consider it a gift.
It's a gift.
It comes from a really special place. Like,
and you two together, dear Lord, like I'm telling you, I hesitate and sit back and I just watch it. I go back, I look back and forth because it's quite the.
Oh, if you get us in our prime,
Yeah.
like we're not even drinking right now. You get us on a roll after we had a couple. Oh, it's just really bad. All bad things.
Yeah, but it's not. People might consider that being a bully, but it's not. We're not bullying people.
I'm just highly sarcastic.
And not everybody who says something to you is being a bully.
No.
True, and that's a problem. Everybody takes everything so
everybody's
personally
so
all the
sensitive.
time.
Everybody takes
All
everything
the
so personally.
time, so personally. That's what I hate too. The only words are words. How you react to them is what gives them power
Right.
or not. How you respond to them is what makes them what they are. Because, if you look at the big scheme of things, they're just a bunch of letters put together. They're a bunch of sounds put together to create these words. They're nothing but letters and sounds until you give them power. Until you... and it goes along with this day and age, too. I really have a problem with everybody being so sensitive about every single solitary. It seems like the latest trend is everybody has to have a cause about something.
Everybody has a cause.
You have to have a cause. Oh, you can crack jokes about this, and this, but you really drew the line because you talked about this.
Right.
Look, jerk, you were just mocking this person the other day, but now that we're talking about this, now all of a sudden your sensitivity button's been pushed.
Right.
Even if it's a subject I'm passionate about or something I strongly believe in, I still have a freaking sense of humor. Yeah. And if somebody says something, whether I believe in it or not, maybe it's something I'm super passionate about and they crack a joke about it, but if it's funny, it's funny.
It's
sorry.
Funny,
it's funny.
Funny is funny.
I agree.
People take so many things sensitive. I'm surprised we didn't get in trouble years ago. One of my morning shows, we talked about, I don't know how we ended up talking about this on the morning program that we did because it was a little bit more straight-laced, but, talking about when we passed away, and my co-host talked about, well, I want my body to be holding a tray of chicken wings, and, we just talked about turning it into a party, and some people, get real worked up about death. It is a serious thing.
If they look back in history, it wasn't about being, mourning. It was about celebrating people's lives. People didn't wear black to a funeral. They wore white.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's what he said, I want people to laugh. He says, I want them to make fun of the body. I want them to eat wings. I want to be buried with ranch sauce and barbecue sauce stuck to my suit. Like, you know what I mean? And we laughed about that. And this was on a family morning program that we're talking about this. And I'm waiting to go into the boss's office, and we know. We're real sorry. We shouldn't have talked about that. Even one time he referred to, there was a person that was part of a tribute band, and he said it was a Johnny Cash. It was a Johnny Cash tribute band. And he says the guy looks just like Johnny Cash. It looks like they just dug up the body. On a family-friendly morning show. And I'm there, with my mouth open, it looks that much like him. Oh, yeah, it looks like they just pulled open the coffin, And I'm like, oh, it looks a lot like him then, huh? I'm trying to keep together thinking, great, here's another office meeting for us, But, why not?
I know. Well, and I think, as we get older, we don't worry about other people's opinions like we used to. You know what I mean? I don't care if you like me. I'm not a big...
Not everybody's going to like you.
No.
Raise your kids to know that not everybody's going to be their friend. Not everything somebody says to you is meant to hurt your feelings.
Right.
If they do hurt your feelings...
That's on them, though. That's what we need to...
Take it on the chin.
Yes.
Stick up for yourself. I'm not saying get in a fist fight. Stick up for yourself.
Yes.
Don't empower these people that are going to be bullies because they are always going to be bullies.
Right.
You can post whatever you want to post on social media about being bullied, and you're still going to be bullied. More people are going to bully you because they're going to see you that you're weak because you're crying about being bullied.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're an easy target. I didn't realize you were an easy target. Now you've made that perfectly clear that you're an easy target.
Right. You actually, something you said was really profound. Not everyone in this world's going to be your friend.
No.
Say we waved a magic wand. Okay, say we waved it. It's up in the air. And there's no more people picking on each other. That still doesn't mean that you're still going to like the person sitting at the desk next to you. Personalities just don't mesh sometimes.
Yes.
You know, and that has nothing to do with being a bully or anything like that. Like, I feel bad some days and some moments in time because I will look at some really good people that I know and they're so nice and they're so kind and I hate them. Well, not hate, that's a strong. I just don't like them.
You don't like them. Oh, I know. I get it.
Like, there's people that are genuinely out there just happy and smiling all the time, and they're just really nice people, and they do really great things and really kind things. And
you still just want to throw a punch them.
I just really want to just overturn tables and
I get it.
kick things and punch things.
But as adults, we have enough respect and, to not do that.
Yeah, but it makes me feel like I go home and I go, oh, that's a really nice person. I wonder why I don't like them. Maybe I'm a really bad person. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Maybe the evil has seen the sunlight or something, the darkness, and I don't know. But it has nothing to do with them not being a good person or a nice person. I just know that I could not sit down with them and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And be thoroughly stimulated by what I'm hearing.
Well, yeah, clearly, certain personalities get along better than others.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
I know not everybody likes me. I know I'm hard.
What?
I know I'm a little hard.
Those people are stupid.
They're stupid.
Stupid, and we hate it.
I'm hard to take sometimes. I know this. I've accepted it. Listen, some people don't like me. I'm over it.
Yeah, I know. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Like,
not everybody's gonna like you.
No, I'm
I feel
okay
bad for
with
the
that.
people that are constantly searching for people to like them. Those are the people I feel the saddest for. The ones that constantly have to get that reassurance. The ones that constantly have to make sure that they have the numbers on Facebook. And the ones that constantly have to make sure that every day 3 or 4 different people are talking to them to make them feel like their lives are important and they have importance in the world. You know what? I don't need that.
The older you get, it's
you have a smaller circle.
It's quality, not quantity.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. I've got a handful of friends that I would take a bullet for, and the rest of you,
I don't mind having I have a lot of acquaintances. I have a lot of really nice people that if I'm with them and I have to engage for 5 or 10 minutes.
That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, the people that really...
There's people that I talk to all the time. There's people that I text all the time, but there's very small amount of people that actually happens to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's times that I go out and I see somebody that I haven't seen for years, and it's really nice to see him. It's really nice to catch up with him. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna call or text him the very next day. It was just nice to see him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, don't let your worth be determined about how many people you have on Facebook or how many people reach out to you. We've gone, Sam and I, through our years together, we've gone through major crises, and I'm glad that it's happened. And I'm going to tell you why. You really filter out who your true friends are and the people that are of worth and of value to you once a crisis hits.
Absolutely.
That's super huge. And Sam learned it a little later in our relationship. I learned it right at the beginning of our relationship. Who are your true friends? Who are the people that will do anything for you? Those are the ones
who
that
are the
matter.
people where you call them at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, I've got a body. And they're like, okay, where are we going to put this?
How many shovels do I need?
Those are your true friends. And it's funny because some of my closest friends, I might not, I have a couple best friends. One of my best friends I will not talk to for 2 to 3 months. And then we'll pick up the phone and it's like, we just talked yesterday and we get caught up real quick and everything's cool and we decide to go grab lunch together or have dinner together and we're good again. But we know if it's going down and somebody needs somebody else or something, that they will be there for each other.
Yes.
And that's what counts. That's what's super, super important.
Absolutely.
But it's hard when you get older, too, to have, to worry about things like that, especially if you're a true family person. If you're a true home focused person, it's hard to keep up with everybody and their brother on a daily basis.
But those close, very good friends understand that.
They get it.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. You know, if you're in a family situation and you feel that you have to make those connections every day of the week and go and be here and be there because you got to make sure that you keep up your friends in your social circle, maybe they're really not your friends.
No.
You know?
No, the ones that, yeah. No, I agree.
What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're
Oh no, that smile makes me nervous.
No. It's just I'm just reiterating everything else. Just be who you are, and just if somebody doesn't like you, just all right, part ways. If you could act like that person's not alive, act like that person's not alive. One day, I guarantee you're going to be in a grocery store, or you're going to be at the mall, or you just be passing, and they're going to look at you and they're going to say hi, like they're your friends.
Yeah.
They know they're assholes. Sorry for the language, but they know that.
Yeah.
I know we've been dropping some bombs.
Yeah, and they come to the realization that that's who they were, and that's for the most part. Some people just don't get it, and they're not going to get it.
No, those are the people that'll never get it.
Right. Whether you put it on a hammer and beat it in their head, they're still not going to get it. But they get it, trust me. And don't let somebody's shortcomings or their own problems ruin your whole entire life.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't. For the love of God, if you're thinking about committing suicide because you're being bullied as a kid,
it's not worth it.
Talk to somebody, call somebody, get with your parents and say, this is what's happening to me.
Right.
Do not do that. And there was a video of a beautiful, beautiful young teenage girl that she posted Facebook Live that she hung herself because she was being bullied. And my God, just the girl, and she's saying, I'm sorry, she's apologizing for this, and she wasn't, she wasn't taught right, like stand up for yourself or do something about it, and just don't commit suicide. Don't let it ruin your life. It's not worth it. Somebody else.
You're not alone. Like you're not alone with this. It's there's so many people that will help you and just be there. Even just to have somebody listen to what you need to say. There's always somebody.
And like we talked about, a reoccurring theme with us and a reoccurring theme with me is I hate social media. I think it's the root of all evil. I think it's a destruction of relationships. I think it's a destruction of communication from one person to another. I think it's cold and informal. But there are instances where sometimes it can be a positive thing.
Right.
There are places that if you are feeling like that, there's chat rooms and groups and networks of people that are going through the same thing that you're going through that you could Google search and find them. And you can now have a whole network and a whole team of people. Some people don't have the mom and dads that they can talk to. They come from, the parents are at the bars every day, or maybe just even a normal family circumstance where the parents are just working all the time to support, their family. There are resources, luckily, at our fingertips that you can go to where you can not feel so alone in the circumstances that you're in. People that are genuinely, truly going through the exact same things that you're going through that you can buddy up with and relate to. And sometimes just having that one person there to help you along through it's enough, And I know I'm contradicting what I'm saying. I'm not a fan of social media. But with that being said, there are some outlets that can be really super positive. It's never worth your life. I almost wish though that the three of us could go to an auditorium at schools and just give it to I think the reason why people get so overwhelmed too is because of be a buddy, not a bully. Yes. And I think that's the reason why some people off themselves is because of be the buddy, not the bully. Because it's tra-la-la. It's not tra-la-la. No. The world's not tra-la-la. It's not unicorns and rainbows and butterflies. It's ugly. And it's cold and it's harsh, and I think you need somebody to go in there and just talk to these kids and just lay it out for them. Look, I encourage everybody in this auditorium to take a look at everybody around you and appreciate what makes everybody different here. With that being said, we know it's not going to happen. We know that we're not going to leave this auditorium today, and everybody in this auditorium is going to be friends now. We're going to sing Kumbaya, and we're going to hold hands, and everybody's going to hug and kiss each other and love each other and go treat each other to ice cream. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But I think it's important that with that being said, we teach you how, for the ones that maybe are going to be getting picked on by somebody else, how to respond to it, how to react to it, how to handle it, because I think in most cases, I think what we talked about this episode is true. I think it's true. I think that it helps. I think it helps in those situations. I think it helps. Like I said, I know it sounds crazy, but I think it helps sometimes if they don't give them more ammunition. Take away their power. There's a lot of different ways to take away a bully's power.
Right.
There really is. But anyway, I'm going to go on my tangents. I'm going to go further and further into it, so
yeah,
I better be stopped.
That's probably about enough for today's show.
I think so.
I don't know. Question of the day is,
how would you...
have you ever been a bully or have bullied?
If you've been a bully, you've had bullied.
Okay, have you ever been a bully or bullied?
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Or bullied. Yes.
Okay.
Have you ever been bullied or have you been a bully?
Okay.
Yeah. And I think we will have a lot of people that we wouldn't even think.
And we're not going to judge you.
No.
We're not going to judge.
Not.
Deacon was a big bully.
I was not that big of a bully.
She's
said
being
so.
a bully
You
right
said
now.
so.
She's being a bully right
She
now.
said so. She just yelled at me.
You ought to see the look on her face. She's trying to...
Her eyes are gleaming.
I'm going to put both of you in there, in that green cage with that little... What's her name?
Alligator. I have a pet alligator we're looking at right now.
And she's fantastic.
She
makes this noise.
Like a little baby gator. What? All right. Well, that's enough
I'm sorry. It always goes to animals.
for our program. And that's another episode of
Too Large and a Sarge.